Well, we're going there. We're going there. We're going to the multiverse. Gundam is going to the realm of multiverses. The idea that there's multiple universes where there's other Chars, there's other Lalahs. Yes, there's even other Doos. There's another universe somewhere nearby, a parallel universe where Do is not a cyber new type and she's happy somewhere. I don't know. She becomes a doctor or something like that. She's no longer going to get killed by Shalia. But yes, I guess I should have expected this. I should have expected this might be the direction it ends up going, because we've kind of been building up so far this idea of the new types going off and them seeing this other side. I can see the other side, and yes, seemingly Char and now Shuji has gone off to that other side, which now seems to be, presumably at this point, another universe, another dimension that's nearby where they're possibly somewhere where there's another Char, another Shuji, another Gundam. All that kind of stuff is kind of being built up. I just wasn't really expecting it to be kind of foreseen through Lalah, which I guess makes sense. She's a very mysterious character. I mean, for those that have not watched the original series, what she kind of lays out there is the original timeline. This idea that she was at this brothel. At some point, Char shows up. Char sweeps her off her feet, takes her off into space. She's happy there. She's willing to die for Char. And yes, at some point, she meets the pilot of the white Gundam. And yes, like she says, he's a pure of heart. He's similar to Char. Both of them are sort of just casualties of this whole war. They're both good people. They're just on opposite ends of this battlefield. And yes, she loved both of them. She loved Char. She loved Amuro. And I like how she puts it right here to, Machu. So the white one, that one's the bad one, right? That's the bad boy. That's the evil one. No, they're both good. I love them both. They're both precious to me. But unfortunately, what it's kind of laying out here is sort of what she's seeing. What this Lalah is seeing is all these different universes, all these different timelines that all play out the same. She's sort of envisioning this endless loop of death, this endless loop of tragedy, and she's trying to stop it. But more interesting, the fact that, yes, it's sort of laying out that with this whole timeline, there's two Lalahs. That, yes, this Rose of Charon is apparently where a Lalah from another universe has come to here. Which I guess that's going to get into the bigger question mark of the direction this ends up going, is will this end up going in the direction of this Rose of Charon was a case of escaping that tragedy, coming to this universe, coming to the Evangelion writer interview universe of Gundam, and trying to stop it, trying to put an end to it. And maybe that possibility, that way of doing that is, again, by getting Char out of there, moving them out of the direction, using these Gundams and their ability to enhance the power of the new types to get them out of tragedy, help them escape from tragedy. But again, that all kind of lays into, is there another universe that would be filled with less tragedy? Because we're already experiencing tragedy in this world. It's just different people are. Shiko's dead. Dew's dead. Gates is dead. There's still a lot of people that are still dying to this whole situation. But anyways, let's go to the episode proper, like I usually do, so I don't miss anything. But opening up the episode with a little bit of a wake-up call for Machu, which I was kind of hoping for a long time here. Opening up with, yes, Machu is in prison, ends up having Komali come in there, say, here's all your stuff. I was told to give you your stuff. You can't call anybody, but you can text. I like how you can't call people because it'll give our location, but you can text. Girl, it does it does the same thing. It's still the same signal that goes through the same process. Why is texting any different than giving somebody a call? Anyways, gives her stuff. Heart breaks the fact that the moment that she turns on that phone, there's like a million messages from her mom and her friends. They're all wondering where she's at. Like how, Kamali was still telling her, you should probably contact your mom at least. I doubt she does. Because it kind of plays out, again, that this is a spoiled brat. She's looking to run away. She wants what she wants, kind of thing. It sadly doesn't feel like she cares much about what's going on with her mom. Because, yes, where we left her mom is she's suspect. The police are coming to her because her child is a terrorist. And, yeah, mom's probably lost her job. She's lost all of her connections. She's probably done. She's probably finished. Anyways, come on, Leon. Here, wear this. I'm not wearing a uniform. It's my own clothes. Be grateful. This girl's so done with her. But yeah, that's when she has a conversation with Shalia. And again, this is where I like that little bit of a wake-up call. I don't feel like it's ready to do it quite yet, but it does feel like it's at least showing the writer is wanting to go that direction. That Shalia is instilling upon Machu, girl, you were so fortunate to be born in Side 6. Like, you have it made there. You have a great family and everything. You kind of messed up. Like, again, I think that's what sort of frustrates Kamali as well. But Shalia has kind of put it in more perspective of the idea that this whole war happened. Half the population died. So many people are just refugees. And you have it made. You kind of have it made there, girl. again, I don't think that she's going to get into it, because even later on, they get into the idea that the maids at this house, they're all like, this is bad. This place is bad. It's a brothel, but they take care of us here. They give us a place to stay. We're not allowed to leave or do whatever we want. If you go outside those gates, everybody's starving. We have it kind of made in here. Again, even though we're in a position where we're being exploited, it's better than out there. And again, Machu, you had it made over here. Are you seeing throughout this episode how well you have it made? You're finally outside of your little comfort zone, and you get to finally realize how bad it is outside the gate. Again, I'm curious if they'll actually do anything good with that, but it seems like it at least shows signs in this episode that that's what the writer wants to do, is kind of give her a wake-up call at some point. That, girl, you kind of had it good with your mom. Like, why didn't you take advantage of that? But anyways, we get to talk about the fruit of the matter, which is what the situation is with Char and Shuji. Shalia trying to figure out if he knows anything about what's going on with Char. And then, yes, getting into how Shuji is looking for this rose. And Shalia using his new type powers to pretty much get the answers that she won't tell him. I like that. She's like, it's just like Shuji. Every single time I think of something, he immediately knows what I'm going to say. But yes, that's when we get to talking about the Rose of Charon, which, yes, the Rose of Charon is apparently this device, this object that appeared at some point during the war. It just, poof, it appeared. And they've been doing research on it. Then at some point, of course, during the whole thing with Solomon, it disappeared. And again, it seems like Shalia knows that the Rose of Charon is connected to the disappearance of Char, because Char was calling out to somebody at that moment. And again, the Rose of Charon disappeared the moment that Char disappeared. So he's making the connection there. He's obviously, this is something we need to find. And again, through reading her mind, finds out that it has something to do with Earth, and then it has to be on Earth. And it seems like overall this whole situation ends up having, letting Machu run away. Because Machu ends up getting some text from somebody about this beginning. What did it say? Let's get the beginning. I love the English. I like how, like, the first response is, who is this? I would be like, is this a scam? Because, you know, like, whenever you get those scam calls or texts or emails, it almost like it's purposely done in a way that's super broken English. And you're like, yeah, that's to get past all the people that are going to obviously see that's a scam and get to people that aren't really thinking it through completely. It's like a filter for people that are actually going to think about what they're receiving and that they're going to get scammed. Let's get the beginning. But anyways, yes, she gets those texts. Says it opens the door. And again, Shalia lets her leave. Which, yes, didn't go to my theory. I was assuming that Shalia was going to himself let her free. Even when I seen the phone, I'm like, oh, did he actually text her? No, that's a monitoring. But it still kind of plays it the same. He knew that she was going to take her wherever he needed. But no, that's when Machu lands on Earth, ends up being brought into the Kabas estate brothel. And yes, at that point, learns about the mistress, how the mistress knew that she was coming. She had a dream that she was coming there. And again, we all assume at that point that's going to be Lalah. And again, I like the little kind of call out to her and the idea that she is afraid for them, because she's realizing very quickly, oh, the lovers are coming in. The mistress is supposed to see the lover. Oh, these are people that are coming here to bed women. This is a brothel. Wow. So you guys are stuck here. Why don't you guys just try to escape? Why would you guys want to stay here? Isn't this bad? No, this is good. We get a place to stay. They feed us. We're warm here. Out there, past the gates, everybody's starving. They're out there begging. Machi wanders around a little bit. She runs into some of the brothel ladies, and they're like, oh, who's this? Oh, that must be the mistress's little girl. Okay, well, don't run around too much, otherwise some of the other customers might pick you up. It was even weird later on. Like, the guy that runs the brothel's like, it's a shame to have her leave because she would probably fit in really good here. It's like, okay, I guess he sees some appeal in Machu. Come on, dude, that's disgusting. No shame, obviously, in this world. But no, that's when we have the meeting between Machu and Lalah, and she just throws down some cryptic but very clear answers to how we're kind of seeing the universe play out. And yet she comes up there and says, you know, thanks for helping me out, all that kind of stuff. At this point, she tells her that the rose is not here, which we find out the rose is in the ocean later on. But Machu clarifies she's looking for a boy that's looking for the rose. And that's when she starts getting into, again, the other side of this other side. What is on the other side, essentially, which, again, like I said earlier, seems to play out that it is another universe that are playing out the same scenario over and over again. That there is this other self that she is seeing on this other side that is in love, that it's not paid for love. That's like the distinction that she's given there. Because again, this Lalah at this time point and this moment, she's working at this brothel, and all she's experienced her entire life is men lovers coming in there and betting her. This isn't real love. What she's experiencing by watching these other individuals on the other side is true love, where this guy, Char, shows up, sweeps her off her feet, takes her off into space, and she's super happy there. And she would do anything for Char, even lay down her life for Char, which unfortunately in the original timeline is exactly what happens. It's kind of interesting to note that, again, in the original timeline, she does die while Char and Amuro are fighting. And it's not until Lalah dies that until eventually the battle continues on and Zeon loses. But it's almost panning out as if Lalah has experienced the whole battle, that she knows where it ends. She's able to see the entirety of the timeline, not just the life of Lalah. I think that's a possibly very important distinction there. And again, also important to show that distinction that she does realize that Amuro is a pure heart as well. These individuals, again, are just two sides of the same battlefield. One is not evil over the other. Except for those that drop colonies on planets. But yeah, the most tragic part of this whole situation is that, yes, as the conversation kind of wraps up, she has to go back to the mansion, got the new lover there. The girls set up for Machu to get out of there. They say, please get her out of there with you. She doesn't deserve to be here. She's destined for better things. Help us get her out of here. They set fire to the entire damn mansion. They're like, we were supposed to just torch the shed. Oh, well, let the whole thing burn. These girls are sick of this place. Again, they're being forced to have to sit here and bed men. It's not a happy place, even though, yes, some might find it to be very comfortable compared to their lives outside of there. But yes, as they're escaping, Lalah stays behind and lets her flee. And it's interesting because it's not necessarily, because I was assuming it's going to turn into a thing where Lalah stays behind because she wants to protect Machu. Like, I totally thought it was going to turn into a thing where she becomes like a human shield and protects Machu from a bullet or something like that, and then tragically dies. No, she's still alive at this point in this timeline. But more specifically, she chooses to stay behind because she has to wait for Char. No, he comes to this place, and I love him so much, so I'm going to stay here. Despite the fact the place is burnt down, despite the fact that Char has not shown up yet. Again, this, I don't know exactly where it would lay on her, but I would assume this is probably past the point in which Char would visit the brothel and pick her up. Again, Char's disappeared. He's not in this timeline, but she's going to wait for him because that's how the timeline plays out. If I don't stay here and wait for him, I'm going to miss my chance to see him. This is love. Like, she wants to stay here for Char, which is, again, like I said earlier, super tragic that she's going to wait there, possibly for him never to show up. But yeah, anyways, Machu escapes, ends up going to where the Gundam is, finally gets to experience the ocean. I thought that for a minute there it was going to be so like she's going to be so sad about the situation, like everything that happened with Lalah and leaving her behind, that she's going to be like, oh, it's the ocean. I don't really care anymore. I don't really care anymore. But no, they go underwater. They end up finding the GQuuuuuuX, and it, again, is sitting right next to the Rose of Sharon. And immediately, Machu sees the person inside of it, which is another Lalah. Another Lalah. And again, that pretty much confirmed right there for me. Yeah, this is going to be a Lalah that is inside of a mobile armor, and it transported to this world. Using that same system of transporting to the other side as a new type, just appears here. The Zek Nova, that phenomenon that's happening, she transported to here. And again, the big massive question mark is, why is she here? Is it by accident? Is this the Lalah that was in the original timeline? And this is to show us that she actually survived and she's actually here. She never died. Or is she another Lalah that has come to this timeline again to find a universe where the tragedy doesn't befall them? That she doesn't lose Char, that she doesn't lose Amuro, that this war doesn't continue into the point where everybody's dying. But yeah, the Zeon ship shows up. Shalia's really happy. Damn, this girl led me right to this place. I have to thank her for a lot of things. This is going to be good news for Kycilia for once, which again confirms there that he's still trying to get in buddy-buddy with her. Again, his motive isn't just to kill Kycilia, it's to kill both Kycilia and Garen at the same time. So he's still got to stay on her nice side. But the most interesting thing about this scene is that Shalia seems to know that there's another timeline. That's the oddity here. Now, this could just be pure speculation. That he just assumes that because this thing is so foreign, because it's so beyond our technologies, because nobody knows what it is, the assumption is that it's not from our universe, that it's not something that mankind has made. Somebody else made this. But it's not as if he's venturing the idea that it might just be some sort of alien tech that's from somewhere else in our galaxy. No, it's just from another universe altogether. It cannot be from us. Kamoli says, why does it look distorted? He says it must be in an unstable state in this universe. Again, he's specifically saying it's from another universe and it's distorted now that it's here. It's not something that we created. It's a specialized mobile armor. The development was incomplete, yet here it is. And that's another odd assumption there that he's making, that it's incomplete. Again, even though it's from another universe. It does make me kind of wonder if he does see that there is technology, origins of technology that it's utilizing that is in their records. It's just, this is far beyond that. Again, in this timeline, they were going to build something like that, but they never got that far. Yet here it is, almost complete. So they know the process, it's just that they didn't make it. And that could be a good way that he can sort of come to the conclusion that it's not from this universe. But yeah, that's when Kamali says that, you know, Machu's wanting to know who's inside there. And he's like, yeah, that's right, she is a new type. In the Rose of Sharon, frozen in time, a girl remains in eternal sleep until now. A new type. From the other side. Again, Xalia knows way more than it feels like Xalia knows way more than he should. And it makes sense. Again, Shalia's been sort of a very interesting character in this whole scenario, and how it always feels like he sees things extremely differently. Like with the whole Char situation. Everybody would assume as Eknova went off, he's done. That dude was vaporized. You see that crater? That's massive. That dude's dead. No, Shalia's like, no, he just disappeared. He's on the other side. He went somewhere else. He can't be dead. He's been searching for a dude that disappeared within a massive, massive explosion. He knows something. He knows something. But yeah, super, super curious to see where this goes from here. A very interesting little twist to everything. Again, I probably should have seen it coming, but at the same time, I'm intrigued to see what they end up doing with this. Will they use this as sort of an excuse to kind of bring a lot of... It would be interesting if they end up using this as an excuse to just bring a bunch of different characters into this universe. Let's just bring characters from different Gundam franchises, just kind of throw them in here as sort of like, oh yeah, they new typed and they just warped into this world. That would be fun. I don't want them to use that in a way that's just kind of cameo focused, but if they could do it in a way that would be sort of intriguing to the story, if they're characters from other universes that would fit in well with the timeline and would do some very interesting things with it. Not just, again, for the sake of cameos. I think it could be very interesting. Either that or, yes, sort of mess with the timeline in very interesting ways. Bring forward characters or push back characters in ways that would really affect the timeline in a significant way. The timeline's already screwed up, obviously, again, because the Xeon 1, that's not in the original timeline. But they could really do some cool stuff with it to sort of, again, manipulate it in ways that would be intriguing. And yes, bring back Do. And bring back Do. Kill off my Do character. Bring her back. Anyways, super fascinating stuff. Looking forward to seeing where it goes from here. It looks like the preview is kind of insinuating they're going to get into the whole solar ray project. So that stuff is kind of progressing a lot faster than I thought it would. But overall, these last two episodes have definitely shot the show up for me. Like, I was kind of enjoying the show overall, a lot of nostalgia there and everything like that, but the last two episodes really started kind of ramping things up and really making things super intriguing. Even though the last episode felt very rushed, this episode felt like the pacing kind of got back to a stable point, so I'm super excited to see where it goes from here. But that's my thoughts on episode 9 of Gundam GQuuuuuX. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below. If you like this content and want to support the channel more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate it. But until next time, y'all take care.